Forget everything you knew about NEET prep. We're exploring a totally new way to actually master biology. Stop rote learning that NCERT textbook. It's exhausting and honestly, it doesn't work. It's time to visualize.
Seriously, ditch the dead text. We're turning those flat, boring pages into active, animated biological processes.
Biology breathes, guys. You literally can't just memorize life. You have to visualize it to truly get it.
Welcome to BioVerse NEET. It's the ultimate animated solution to help you medical aspirants learn way more intuitively.
Watch cells actually move and organs talk. Seeing these complex mechanisms come alive makes them instantly unforgettable. The ultimate payoff? Turning that vivid, visual understanding straight into way higher NEET exam scores. So, are you ready to study smarter? What if cracking NEET just means seeing biology totally differently? Biologists have identified and described nearly 2 million distinct species of living things on our planet. To get a sense of that scale, just look at the canopy of a single forest. Countless different plants, insects, birds, and mammals are all interacting in this one shared space. Compare that terrestrial environment to an ocean coral reef. It is a completely different habitat, packed with an entirely different set of organisms. Keeping track of so many different creatures across so many different environments is a massive logistical challenge. We cannot study them effectively without a reliable way to organize them. Take this large wildcat. Depending on where you live, you might call it a puma, a cougar, a mountain lion, or a panther. Common, everyday names rely heavily on local geography and language. But if a scientist in one region is trying to share research with someone across the world, using 4 different names for the exact same animal creates a wall of confusion. Biologists recognized that they needed a standardized naming system. They developed a set of rules to ensure that a specific organism gets exactly one scientific name that is recognized worldwide. Assigning a single, undisputed global name is the necessary first step to figuring out how any individual living thing relates to the rest of nature. This global standard is known as binomial nomenclature. It provides a 2-part scientific name for each species, typically derived from Latin. The functional logic is a bit like a human name, but written in reverse. The first word defines the broad group the organism belongs to, known as its genus. The second word acts as a specific identifier, telling us the exact species. Let's see how this works with a highly recognizable plant, the mango tree. The official scientific name for the mango is Mangifera indica. Mangifera represents the broader genus that includes several related plants, while indica pinpoints this exact type of fruit-bearing tree. Because of this system, when a biologist reads Mangifera indica, they know exactly which specific plant is being discussed. Now let's look at how scientists group different species together based on their shared physical characteristics. Consider a lion, a tiger, and a leopard. They are separate species, but they share obvious physical traits. Because of those close similarities, biologists group them all together into a single shared genus called Panthera. Next, we can bring a much smaller animal into the comparison, your domestic house cat. A house cat belongs to its own unique genus. However, it still shares broader traits with lions and tigers, like retractable claws and specialized teeth, that group them into the same family known as Felidae. These shared physical traits are clues to a shared history. By grouping organisms this way, we are actually mapping the lineages that connect them, nesting small groups inside the branches they grew from. To take another step up, let's look at an animal outside the cat family, the dog. Dogs belong to their own family, but dogs and cats both possess teeth designed for eating meat. That deep-rooted trait brings those 2 different families together into an even broader category called an order, the order Carnivora. We can keep zooming out. Humans join dogs and cats at the class level as mammals. We share a backbone with fish, grouping us into a phylum. And ultimately, every animal falls under the highest category, the animal kingdom. This table shows exactly how this established scientific standard works. You can see how organisms as different as a human, a housefly, or a wheat plant are formally ranked at each level, from species all the way up to kingdom. Pacing slows down. This reveals a clear pattern. The higher and broader the category, the fewer specific traits the members share. It shows us how distantly related organisms are, pointing back to more and more ancient connections. Behind these standardized labels lies a deep record of our planet's life. What we are really looking at is a massive, interconnected map of biological history. Because we've identified how specific traits were passed down through time, an organism's biological address reveals its exact evolutionary relationship to every other living thing on Earth. This system transforms our perspective of nature, shifting it from a chaotic collection of creatures into a single, deeply connected family tree, where humans, pets, and plants all have an exact place.